This one is the hardest one of all. Jesus dead on Good Friday. What can I say about Jesus Christ? Jesus of Nazareth, the Son of God, fisher of men, healer, and a pretty good parable teller. We met in school. Not as we know it today. There was no schoolhouse. A bunch of us would meet outside and Jesus would lecture. I know what you're thinking. Hey, wait a minute there, Bob. That was thousands of years ago. Well, this was one of my previous lives when I was Bob of Nazareth. Son of dog. No, I'm not dyslexic. I was found and raised by a pack of wiener dogs. My best bud at the time, Paul, is still working today as Shirley MacLaine. I was working as a village idiot when Jesus came by and saith, Bob, throw down your yo-yo and follow me. Jesus was at the height of his fisher of men phase, and I was there when he was arrested for fishing without a license. He didn't saith a word. He just laid his hands on the offending cop, who immediately dropped to his knees and screamed, Jesus Christ, I've gone blind. So it works both ways, I thought. I was the 13th apostle with a promise I could move up to the 12th spot if Judas didn't work out. I'll never forget it. We're at a wedding, having a pretty good time, except there was no open bar. And I wasn't made of silver, so I was drinking water, chilled, no ice. I said, can't you do something, Jesus? He nodded, and he laid his hands on my tumbler. I thought he wanted a sip, and when I jerked it back, gulped it down, it was now a fine port. I just meant, would you buy drinks? Jesus laughed, and everyone laughed, as they all followed his lead like sheep. I was with a date I'd met through the personal ads, Mary Magdalene. While we danced, I leaned over to Paul Wink and said, I think she likes me. Doubting Thomas shook his head. She's a whore. I nodded, but she's giving me a rate, so she must really like me.
A rate.
I like being part of Jesus' entourage, except he always attracted a seedy lot, sinners and lepers. Lepers out the ass. Hey, I'm the kind of guy that hates it when somebody sneezes in my area. After I used Jesus as a reference, I found he denied me thrice. Thrice, and it was only one call. We're all supposed to get together for supper. It was the last supper before bed. Can I bring Mary? I asked. She liked to work the crowd. Halfway through supper, something didn't feel quite right, and when I got back from the bathroom, everybody was gone. I asked around and found them. I was the last one. They all wanted to get in out of the rain because it always rains on Good Friday. When he came down from the cross and died in my arms. 3 days later, he was back changing my bathwater into a nice Zinfandel. All 12 of us had gone to the gravesite. I'd gotten Judas a spot on the roster, and he was now a toad. It was rolled away, and the big stoner was gone, so was Jesus. We looked and looked and looked, but all we found were some really cool eggs. Come, join me. Throw down your headphones and follow me to hell.